Well, with the cultural ground that China loses by boycotting Hollywood, if or when that happens, they can make up the difference with a wide array of influencers. And IShowSpeed recently streamed this wonderful trip to China, all across China, and he's meeting his Chinese fans, looking at all the historical sites, going through the cities, and people thought, and I'm still entertaining the possibility, that IShowSpeed was actually hired on a contract with the CCP to take this trip and stream the whole thing to create pro-China propaganda for his Western viewers.
Well, that would have started, what, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah, I think he is back from China, but it was a long stint that he was in China. He's traveled all across the world. He's done this before.
Maybe this is what the tariffs are about. Trump's like, we need IShowSpeed back.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to give us iShow back.
He has a huge global audience, but a lot of them are American. People are saying IShowSpeed destroys anti-China propaganda from Western media. And then all you see is a 10-minute compilation of Chinese people being openly racist and saying the N-word to IShowSpeed's face.
Yes.
And I saw countless examples of this. I don't know how much of it is scripted or planned by IShowSpeed, because you know these IRL streams a lot of the time are planned out play-by-play for viral moments. But some of them just seemed too crazy to be true. First off, one fan in China handed IShowSpeed a KFC bucket with a banana in it and then proceeded to make monkey sounds at him.
Open that shit! Open that shit! You'll love it! You're gonna 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 love it!
Wait, guys.
You're gonna love it! Come here, motherfucker!
Like, it does feel planned.
I know, but we also know that, you know, in China, there are not these... They're not as precious about offending people on the basis of race, because they're in a racially homogenous country.
Which goes against the American narrative that only white people can be racist. But I guess the idea there is that here in the West, white people have institutional power, whereas it would be different in other countries. If you're to take the brain-dead academic definition of racism.
Another racist fan in China handed IShowSpeed a cotton flower bouquet, but he handled the situation with humility.
I like the heart at the end.
This is cotton. Look.
Cotton?
He starts picking it.
Cotton.
You are Napoleon? Yeah. Cristiano, my friend.
Why did you give me cotton?
Yeah.
W give, chat!
It's my love. It's my love. Can I take a photo, please?
W give. Bro, y'all be gifting me anything in China, bro. I'm not gonna cap.
Thank you.
He starts posing for photos and he says, W gift, chat. He's not offended by that one.
No.
But I looked into the comments and some people said this is culturally normal practice in China to give someone a cotton bouquet.
Yeah, it's literally the top comment underneath, and somebody's like, this is just what happens when you have Western sensibilities and you transport yourself somewhere else, and then it's kind of like when we were going to talk about the Power Rangers thing, and making they made the Black Ranger black and the Yellow Ranger Asian, not realizing that the show was not created in America, and that the Yellow Ranger might have been like the oversight, but nobody thought about that stuff back in the 90s. And then it came out that Walter, the guy who played the Black Ranger, could have been the Blue Ranger, but he didn't want to because he didn't want to play the geek. So the people who look on it now look on it with a racialized lens that comes from all of the fighting that's been going on in America in the last 10 to 15 years. I mean, longer than that, but really the culture war since 2016, and not realizing that the world wasn't like that back then. But it was taken from a show that was not American.
It's all a big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
So you can chalk up the cotton bouquet to a cultural misunderstanding, but this next clip, definitely not. This fan goes up to IShowSpeed and starts screaming that she's racist and then calls him the N-word to his face.
You're racist?
Yes, I hate
Like, it's kind of crazy that she's like really excited about, like, it's creepy.
I don't know if she knows that that's like
I'm so sorry
racist.
about that, but I love your girlfriend because your girlfriend is white people. I love her.
What?
Yes, that's true. I'm so sorry about that. Because
Wait. I don't think you understand what you're saying. Do you speak English?
yes, I am racist. I am racist.
What? What the fuck? Bro, hell no. What the fuck is she saying?
So I don't know if I buy that it's Chinese propaganda if it's making the citizens look bad.
Well, I don't know. Maybe white teenagers see this, on their TikTok feed and they think, wait, China's awesome. You can just scream the N-word. No one cares. But yeah, she's saying to IShowSpeed that she loves his girlfriend because she's a white person. And she seems to be saying this as if it's effusive praise. Like she doesn't know the tone that she's hitting with all of these comments.
Yeah.
Like this is just what you say to black people. You say the N-word.
Yeah.
And they think it's funny. I don't know. Is it really mixed signals, or is she trying to trigger him?
I mean, these days I just assume everything's a plant or a skit anyways.
If she's trying to trigger him, he's obviously not taking the bait because he's just walking away from the situation.
Once you reach his level of fame too, you get so much stuff hurled at you every day that you have to learn to be okay with it. Like it sucks, but that's what happens when you're a famous person. Nobody should have like those types of insults hurled at you, but you kind of make that judgment. If I want the fame, if I want the money, I have to just accept that there's going to be awful people who are going to say awful things to me.
Well, part of the appeal of him taking this trip to China is so that he can show these exaggerated reactions to what the Chinese citizens are saying in front of him, including a word in the Chinese language that sounds like the N-word, which is actually just a filler word. I've heard it means either just or that, but it sounds like the N-word in this clip, and he seems taken aback.
这是那个穿那个花棉袄的。是的，哦，我看见那个人了，我刚才看见他了。刚刚来我们演播厅了，刚刚来我们演播厅，还以为他是咱们的那个没上台的那个演员呢啊，真不错。来，那个。
Yeah, and they did not intend for that to happen. And then it happens again when his Chinese tour guide says the same thing in Chinese.
那个是不是太远了？那个啥，那个，他们那个馆是。
That one sounds scripted to me.
Right, it's like half scripted and half not.
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, I mean his outfit is legit though.
Oh yeah,
Jordan Peterson would approve.
I know, he looks like Jordan Peterson in
It literally is. What did he say?
But to end it on a heartfelt note, he gives this inspirational speech to a Chinese fan of his.
Just laugh at me.
Laugh at you? Don't listen to them. See, look, in this world, honey, you gotta understand that. In this world, people gonna laugh at you, talk about you, be hateful towards you. That's part of life. But as part of a human, as part of us, it's just gonna be people like that. So you just have to stay strong and be you at the end of the day. People gonna hate you all the time. It don't matter if you're the best in the world, the most perfect person in the world. People gonna hate you. You know what I'm saying? You have a nice voice.
I believe you.
Don't worry. You have a good voice.
That's the start of a documentary.
She was saying that people make fun of her voice, I guess.
Yeah.
Someone commented saying IShowSpeed is undoing the damage shitty role models like Asmongold and Aiden Ross have been doing to young men. I don't even watch these streamers, so I don't know how to compare the influence they have.
That's a big amount of influence to put on one person's shoulders.
Aiden Ross seems like a respectable young man. No? What is he? What do you have evidence to the contrary?
I don't have evidence to the contrary, but I'm guessing that no.
No?
I'm guessing not.
Well, I assume the worst of like all of these streamers and influencers, of course. But as they go, Aiden Ross doesn't seem like he's that bad. If he were able to get a collab with Donald Trump, he must be on his best behavior, right?
I forgot about that one.
And he's friends with Barron Trump, which is
I'm just
going
to assume that most of them are not good people.
I agree. I
no
agree.
idea.
But Aiden Ross doesn't seem like such a terrible influence on young men.
I mean, what he's doing here doesn't seem like a terrible influence on young men, especially since he is an example of somebody who reached a certain level of fame and then turned it into more. like his level of fame is not easily achieved, and like guys like him and Kai Cenat, even if you don't like them, they've changed the landscape of what it means to be a streamer or an influencer online. So purely from a business perspective, there's a certain amount of influence that they wield.
Well, I think the poor influence that Kai Cenat or IShowSpeed or Mizzy, or you could name any number of these streamers, have on the younger generation is just the fact that their content
Wait,
is
wasn't
so...
Aiden Ross the one who like sniffed Andrew Tate's chair?
Yes.
Okay, you're disqualified from being any type of good influence if you sniff another man's chair.
That one was unforgivable, yeah. But the problem with these streamers is that the influence they have is mostly brain rot, and it's just mindless content that is mostly nonverbal and made for the global south. Like, it is just the... Honestly, I watch clips of Kai Cenat or IShowSpeed, and I just think, like, do you not feel embarrassed being... You're basically acting like this is a minstrel show. Like, I genuinely find it gives me secondhand embarrassment to watch. Because they mostly don't talk on these streams. They just yell, or they make exaggerated facial expressions and behave in this animalistic way.
I mean, it's just...
to appeal to the lowest common denominator.
The idea here is it's rambunctious behavior that appeals to young men. Okay, and acting out.
I guess, yeah.
I think you're kind of I think you're overanalyzing that just a little bit.
I see those streams, and I see the future of the internet. And I don't mean that in a good way. I mean that in a terrible way, because the future of the internet is brain rot. The future of the internet is mostly nonverbal content that appeals to the widest global audience possible. And it's low IQ. It's appealing to the lowest common denominator.
Well, you know, women have their trashy reality shows.
Hey, those are actually really intellectually deep, and I don't like what you're implying
Women have
now.
their trashy reality shows, and men, and they're beauty streamers, and men have, and the boys have the boys going out and acting rambunctious.
That's another thing. I think the internet is going to be increasingly divided on the basis of sex. The audiences.
I mean, it's not just that. It's like, look, you're going to pare down everybody into niche demographics, right? So,
well, IShowSpeed is the opposite of niche.
Yes. But most of the time, that's not where your success comes from. Your success comes from finding a specific thing that people like and then honing in on that one thing.
We have a 20 from award-winning blank. Starting shift change to days. Won't be able to enjoy live for a time. So sorry, Brett and Mary. Out of respect for Mary's good Christian values, you can refer to me as AWT.
Award-winning, yes.
Okay, I'll just use that as your nickname from now on. But I never said your username. I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
I didn't fall for your tricks.
Look, when you were gone, I made sure to not say the...
You have to be mindful.
I think I did the first time just because somebody said I shouldn't.
Just out of spite.
It's like when they say, don't push the button. I'm going to push the button.
Yeah.
Most of the time, though, this is not the type of way that because this is like mega success. Micro influencers and your average influencer, they have a niche. They have something specific that they're known for, and they hone in on that thing.
To address the accusation that IShowSpeed was hired by the CCP to spread pro-China propaganda. I don't think that's necessarily true, but I do think that this went under state review before he was allowed to stream this trip. He's not a normal tourist. This is basically a TV program. And they wouldn't let him do it on his own terms. They had to review his ability to do this and permit this to happen. So I think their intention in just allowing him to do this was to spread some kind of positive influence about China to Westerners, because he's showing off the beautiful cities and that all they have to offer, and the infrastructure and the beauty and the history.
In the tourist areas.
Yeah, and the tourist sites. And I think they saw that as a good opportunity for them. So they allowed him to do it without being, in my opinion, too hands-on with forcing him to do certain content. I think it was just that they thought his stream was a positive thing for Chinese PR.
This is what could have happened if they had let you go to Afghanistan.
Maybe.
You could have changed the world.
That to be clear, was not a state sponsored.
That's what I'm saying. Like that they wouldn't have allowed you though
Yeah.
if you'd gone. I don't think they would have allowed you.
Yeah.
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 Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.